First in the showcase here at SwissWatchExpo, and Omega has a very rich history of ladies' watches, and we have a fantastic homage edition to one of the originals today, so let's check it out. I have always thought that Omega's lady watch line does not really get the respect that it really deserves, especially compared to other brands such as Cartier and Rolex, which might have more iconic sort of additions in their line for women. But Omega has some fantastic models, some very unique ones too, that are really unlike any other brand. And a great one we have here is this beautiful rose gold Ladymatic, which is, I think, an absolutely hilarious name, but I love it. This is actually the original name to the throwback of the original automatic winding watch for ladies. Omega does have that as their claim to fame. The original Ladymatic from all the way back in 1955, which was available in a variety of metals, at least marketed itself as the first fully automatic watch made exclusively for women, which is a very surprising sort of claim to fame that Omega has that I'm surprised they don't brag about more. That's something I would have totally guessed that another older, perhaps more prestigious watchmaker would have laid claim to that title. But believe it or not, it's the original Ladymatic that does it. And like so many great Omegas that they bring back, it was out of production for a long while, but they brought it back with this one and kept basically nothing other than the fact that it is an automatic movement with a round case. That's the only thing this thing has in common with the classic Ladymatics from 1955. But I think you could tell just by taking one quick glance at it, this is a very different watch than a lady back in 1955 would be wearing. So let's go ahead and talk about it. The first thing, beautiful rose gold case, but this case is 34 millimeters in diameter. So this is already much larger than a watch back then. It would have been very impressive for such a traditionally sized ladies' watch to have a fully automatic movement complete with the rotor and everything else. So this being a 34 millimeter case, a little less impressive from an horological standpoint, but this is definitely made for the modern lady. At 34 millimeters, this is probably larger than the men's watches that Omega was making in the 50s. And it is an absolutely credible piece and a wonderful update, I think. It has some beautiful features. First of all, this chocolate dial, which always goes great in rose gold. Just about every brand that makes ladies' watches in rose gold uses a chocolate dial. Omega is no different because it looks great, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's not just that this dial has a beautiful, rich color, but the pattern, the sort of a spiraling wave pattern that you see here, is absolutely incredible and a bit obvious too. It's not subtle, but I absolutely love that. This is a watch that is kind of loud when you start to look at the dial. Of course, you do have the 12-hour markers and a date window here at 3 o'clock, so pretty standard layout for a basic time-telling watch. But I do love, not only is the size modern, it's not just that this has an automatic movement. This is a very modern automatic movement, water-resistant, complete with a screw-down crown and a quick-set date. So this is updated in so many ways rather than just size and aesthetics. The shape of the case I find interesting. One, you actually have these sort of wave pattern groove lines on the sides of the case, which, because this is very thick for a lady's watch, gives it a ton of room to play with the design, and again is another feature that I think is very clear. This is not something that you really have to study to notice. These wave patterns are going to be one of the first things you see when you're sort of looking at the broadside of this watch. Also, the lugs here, really interesting. You've got a single, small lug with a spring bar here, which does have, your deployant clasp attached to this rose gold piece here. So it gives it a really unique look. Also very durable feeling. I mean, this does, for a somewhat dressy and sort of fashion-forward type of watch, feels very durable. It's not just the lugs here, also that screw-down crown. I was very surprised to find that when I started winding this watch. This does have a beautiful brown lizard skin strap, which I think is absolutely vital for a rose gold watch of this. It all blends together perfectly, particularly with that dial. And another great modern touch, also this beautiful polished deployant strap or buckle, and an exhibition case back displaying this beautiful movement. This is not something you're going to see on a lot of dress watches or a lot of ladies' watches, but it's keeping within the spirit of the Ladymatic for sure. That even though they certainly weren't doing all this stuff in 1955, this is probably what they wish they could pull off back in those days, and also just a great example of what an automatic watch can be. So again, as the holidays are coming, if this sounds like something that might be appropriate for your significant other or for yourself, you've probably earned it. And frankly, this is a great, great watch for people. I can't tell you how many women come shopping here that do not find the watches that are as big as they're either expecting or that they really had in mind. And let me tell you, This at 34 millimeters and incredibly thick for a lady's watch. This is not something that is lacking for size for ladies that want a really prominent watch, but still something with a very unique feminine design. This is it, and there's really not anything else like it. Of course, we've got a ton of varieties of ladies' watches, not just Omega, ton of other brands as well. You've seen our Rolexes, you've seen our Cartiers, you've seen our Pateks, so let us send one to you and give us a call today at SwissWatchExpo.com.